And I've got all these little Tinymight alternative mouthpieces, which I'm going to test in this stream when we are live. And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our live stream here on YouTube. You can join us in Zoom. Tom is here. He's joined us, for example, in Zoom. Nice to see you, Tom. Let me just copy the URL and post that in our Zoom, in our YouTube chat. Join us on Zoom. There we go. So that means we are all up and running. Tom came and went in a second. How are you guys doing? It seems like you've got an angry mob after you.
Yeah, we have. It's Beth's birthday today. I don't know if you knew.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, happy birthday. I've already wished Beth happy birthday. But yeah, nice to do it to your face.
Thank you.
Wait. I was saving it for this stream as well.
So why are the angry mob after you? Is it just purely because it's your birthday, or is there some other reason, Beth?
It's the birthday mob, and they're chasing.
It is, right. And this is the it's a very racially balanced mob. Normally you only see white people in these mobs.
Okay, I don't discriminate against who's mobbing against me.
The thing is, I can see some of the same person. There's a lady just over your right shoulder, Beth. There's a lady there behind that baseball bat.
Yeah.
And she's also like 3 people over to the left, just behind Dee's head as well. That same lady. So that doesn't work. Tom has joined us. Let's have a see if we can hear Tom. How are you doing, Tom? Can you hear us? Oh, he's muted.
George.
Yes. Oh, nice. Look at that.
Happy birthday. I had a few accidents.
It's a little bit
We're in quarantine, so we don't have we have caterpillar cake, but we don't have candles.
That is awesome. Those are huge candles.
Yeah.
It's a big birthday.
The candles are really big and the cake is really small.
Well, shall we sing happy birthday to Beth?
Yeah, we should sing happy birthday to Beth.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beth. Happy birthday to you. Woo-hoo.
Hey.
All in one.
Congratulations. 3 today. Very advanced for your
3
age.
years old.
Look, we did the birthday thing and it brought the birthday.
Oh, the mob came back.
Delia, I'm ordering some food. Would you like anything? I've already got you some chuka wakame salad.
Chuka wakame salad?
Yes.
Could you get another chuka wakame salad?
Okay. I can.
Is this legit? Are you guys actually ordering this? What is chupa wakame salad? What is that?
It's a seaweed salad.
Wakame is seaweed. Seaweed, and Delia really wants some. So she's having 2 of those.
Wait, let me go
Nice.
eye on the comments, because sometimes we get comments and we don't notice them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube comments. Are we on? No, we're only on YouTube, aren't we?
Accidentally, the video, I think, might have gone back up.
Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it, and I'm having a really...
Sorry, that was
I was wondering where that was coming from for a minute. I was like, what?
We started to get a few followers on Twitch. Which is
nice. I was wondering where that was coming from. That's me again.
Hey,
turn me down.
Hello.
Yes, Pixel Atom has arrived and says, thank you for streaming like you said you would, Delia. Pixel Atom is using a Dynavap purchased from Vape Fiend as we speak. So thank you very much, Pixel.
Pixel Atom is one of the people that tunes in and watches our gaming streams.
Well, Pixel, if you want to show your face, you can click on that link that's in the YouTube chat there and join us.
They spoke about this earlier. They didn't want to
show their face.
Yes.
Would you like
Fair enough.
fruit tea, Delia? get some.
Yeah, with popping extra toppings available, please go with passion fruit.
Well, listen, while you're doing that, I'm going to, this is the main task that I've got set for me. We can look at, although we can't use them yet because I don't have a mod here with me, but we can look at the Mod Pod bits later that have been sent to us.
Oh, nice.
Nice box of Mod Pod bits. But the thing I'm most excited about, and this just shows how geeky I am, is that we've got the delivery of sample alternative mouthpieces from the guys at the Easy Flow factory in China. These are alternative mouthpieces for the Tinymight.
Nice.
So basically what I said was I sent them a bunch of different kind of concepts and all of the measurements. And I said, we want to try all these kinds of things and we'll see how they function as mouthpieces. The standard mouthpiece for the Tinymight, I mean, I like it, to be honest, especially as it's got that cooling unit in it. But some people have said that is too wide a mouthpiece for them. You know, it's quite a big old mouthpiece. So I was wondering, can we, you know, mess about with that design a bit and create our own mouthpiece? For example, this one has the sort of cooling glass divots that you would see on like an exhalator, but it also has this smaller tip. So I'm going to try this one first because this one looks quite promising. And what I'm doing, obviously, you can't fit the cooling unit in there, obviously. But you'd never be able to get it out either. It'd be a bit of a nightmare. So what we're doing is just putting a little screen like that in the end here. We'll see how that works. That fits quite nicely. So then I'm going to put some herb in. Oh, apparently Pixel Atom hasn't got a webcam and his mic is broken. His or her, their mic is broken. So yeah, sorry to hear that. That's very depressing.
I'm depressed.
Well, especially considering you're kind of the only person, as far as we can tell, the only, oh, it does say 10 people are watching, but oh, look, Zoticus.
Hello, Zoticus.
Hi, Zoticus.
Hello, Zoticus.
Oh, it looks like some breezy way.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
Isn't it morning over there?
It's afternoon, 4:20 in fact, or 4:28 now. What time is it there?
It's 11:28. I'm in Michigan, and
Nice.
Nice.
Well, that's very international of us. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. How are things in Michigan?
it's all right. Just staying on in, keeping my vapes packed. Got all my Dynavaps ready. If y'all, oh, looks like we're about to toke.
Yeah, I'm going to sample this sample alternative mouthpiece for the Tinymight.
Oh hell yeah! I need to give me one of those.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants these at the moment, but the guy can't make them yet until his parts come. So we're just
wait till the world's like all cooled down. Get on that list.
Yeah, I do already like the way this looks in the unit compared to the normal big fat. Let's see how this hits.
Can I get oh no, none of this. Go to sushi.
Yeah, that works beautifully, actually. I can heartily recommend this design of mouthpiece. I've got a bunch of these mouthpieces, Zoticus, that I'm going through. They're all different shapes and sizes. Looks great, that mouthpiece, but without cooling unit. Warm, right? Says Carrick. Well, it's actually not that warm because it's got these kind of notches in, you know, the same kind of thing you get in these like Dynavap cooling stems. So it just kind of buffers the vapor around a bit so you get a slightly cooler hit. So it's actually pretty cool. Works really nicely, that. It looks great and it fits nicely in your mouth, you know. It's a little bit easier to take a big draw. And because there's no cooling unit, there's less restriction. So you can really inhale a big old gulp. I'll try and do a full-on. pretty nice. That's lovely, that, actually. Yeah, I mean, I know you're worried about the warmth, Carrick, but you know, it's not that warm, to be honest. It's pretty cool. I've got some alternatives as well. I've also got this one, which has got the little.
I didn't see the alternatives because I was thinking about. Oh, I like that.
That's good. I've also got.
That's a tiny little fella.
Yeah, one that's like this with this sort of tip.
Oh.
I've also got all of these without the divots, so we can see how it is without that added cooling, if it makes any difference. And then I've got a couple of adapters. So this one and this one. And I've even got adapters with the divots.
I like how the adapters with the divots are essentially the exhalators.
Similar, but you know, a bit shorter. They just fit a bit better in the device.
And I guess they'll have an actual bowl allowance, whereas with the.
Yeah, well, yeah. Although I'm still using the same method of a screen inside the mouthpiece, because I couldn't work out how you would be able to do it with the cooling unit. I mean, I guess actually this one you could put the cooling unit in that. Maybe I'll try that now, because this is the standard and this is this. I'm not sure if the
screen being bibbly bobbly.
Yes, we really like it.
Oh wow, I like your garden, Zoticus. I'm jealous of the outdoors that you have.
Yeah, it's
So
nice.
My neighbor's backyard, but we have pretty much like in the middle of that forest, and on like the side we got that creek though.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I love it. Very peaceful token back here, especially because this is where I have to smoke and vape. I vape mostly nowadays, but yeah.
Oh shit! I just accidentally logged into my PS4 again. No.
Also, I forgot whose birthday it was, but happy birthday.
Oh, Beth. Zoticus says happy birthday. I don't know what I did with the caterpillar cake, but we just had a cake earlier.
Yeah, I was watching YouTube and I was like, oh crap, they're on stream. No one's joining. Might as well join.
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Zoticus. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
That cake looks delicious and it is adorable. Who made it?
Wait.
Oh, it was. We have this guy here called Waitrose. Yeah.
It's like the staple of every single children's birthday party. It's like every kid from the ages of about 2 till 7 has a caterpillar birthday cake. So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Feels pretty good.
That brought a smile on my face. I thought it was something inappropriate at first. I was like, oh, what the heck is going? And then I was like, oh, it's just a caterpillar.
It's kind of a meme cake here. Like it's a little bit of a meme. The caterpillar cake, which is why I got it. They also had this. They had this giraffe cake, but it was a lot bigger. And it's like there's only 3 of us in the house, and we're on lockdown. So it was this cake that was meant for like a whole kid's birthday party. Yeah. But it was shaped like a giraffe, but they put all the features on wrong. So it's one eye was like up here. And then it had one eye down here that was like sideways, and then the mouth had just fallen off, and it was just on the paper. And I really wanted to get it and just give it to Beth in the box with the candles on the top. It was called like Gary the Giraffe or something ridiculous. And like Gary's not a great name for a giraffe.
No, it's really not at all. I've just ordered us some takeaway as well.
Nice.
So we're gonna have some food very soon.
Beth asked me what I wanted, and all I got was just seaweed and rice.
and bubble tea.
And bubble tea.
Passion fruit with mango and coconut jelly.
That's very virtuous of you. Seaweed, rice, and bubble tea. It doesn't. It's not the level of excess that I had with my last takeaway, I'm afraid.
With the katsu curry burger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
God, that one. My word. I'm gonna go get a drink.
This one I like. I'm just using this little curvy one here. That works really well as well. It's a cool little mouthpiece.
Nice to it too.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be better to have that a little bit longer.
Oh, that's cool. It tracks the background, tracks my head. Look, I can move around,
Oh.
but it's, oh, you zoom in and out, so it's like you're in the crowd.
Yeah.
You are wonderful.
Help me now.
This is so nuts. What are you up to?
I'm coming in here because you guys are doing this. As I grind my beans.
Oh, that's what's going on. I was wondering what the hell was going on over there. Bibbly Bobbly is watching. Bibbly Bobbly says, I bought a splinter off Vape Fiend recently on account of your recommendation videos. I'm pretty happy with it now, but I needed to get a better mouthpiece or else it was borderline unusable. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bibbly Bobbly. He says it was a Lamart nub, but it didn't quite fit. I had to grind a couple of millimeters off with a diamond Dremel wheel. You went to some lengths there, Bibbly Bobbly. Most people just buy a cooling mouthpiece. You can get them. This is one, for example. This is the Exhalator cooling mouthpiece, and that's got those little nodules in it, same as all these things that I'm testing here, basically, same sort of thing. And that cools down the vapor as it goes through. And there's another one that we sell at Vape Fiend called the cooling mouthpiece, which it looks kind of like a little bubbler, little vertical bubbler, but you don't put water in it. It's just got the same kind of channels in it, and you inhale through that. But yeah, I can't use the splinter without some sort of cooling unit. Yeah, I know what you're saying. You want a small one. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for with these. I was thinking, you know, something with a thinner tip. Or like this one that I'm hitting here, they just don't stand out so much. They don't look quite so pipey, you know. Yeah, the idea of having a mouthpiece like an e-cig is perfect. Like, imagine if you could have something like that on the top of your splinter, but imagine if it was made to look like it was actually a liquid tank with liquid in it. Like, I'm sure somebody clever could come up with that design, and then you literally just look like you're vaping a liquid tank. But yeah, for the time being, I'm just fiddling with these ones. But yeah, I like this little one. This one's working well. I haven't built up to the water adapters yet, like this one. I'm gonna get that one fired up and put it in my bubbler over here, and we'll give that a try. Because what I've been using as a water adapter for the Tinymight is one of these. That's why I've got it out here. It's the Exhalator mouthpiece for the splinter. But it's normally in the splinter, it'd go this way and you're inhaling out of this. But if you're using it as the adapter for the Tinymight, I'm putting it in this way. You see what I mean? And I'm plugging that into the bubbler. Hey, Passion Vapotager. If you'd like to join us on Zoom, feel free. The link is up there in the chat somewhere. I'll post it again for you. Anybody can come and join us. We've got Zoticus in Michigan. He's just gone somewhere. Delia and Beth are making some sort of coffee or something.
Yeah, I'm making coffee.
In amongst that angry mob there. There's a guy right in the middle there, that bald, angry guy. He looks kind of like, he looks like a sort of middle level manager at an office.
He looks like he won't. He looks like he works in. He looks like he works in a health food store as well. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be, or he's just
like the guy that works in the local health food store. To me, that I think that though.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of anger in that crowd. I swear I can see D. If you look just to your right, just where your hand was a second ago, that lady.
This one.
Okay, well, there's a lady just, yeah, that lady there, right? Now, you see this lady just here. Isn't that the same person?
No.
No? Okay. I can only see it small on here. I thought we had a duplicate.
They have actually gone and made an actual crowd. I like this lady, but I just like how they're all people that would be in other stock photographs. So they're
Yeah.
not necessarily like, you know, I don't know, they just don't look like an angry mob to me. They just look like an assembly of people.
Take it easy, Bibbly Bobbly. Nice to see you. Meat Bomb MMB says, as someone with daily blinding migraines, I've been told to be careful with vaping. I assume it's because you build a tolerance. That sounds terrible, Meat Bomb. Daily blinding migraines. What an absolute nightmare. I'm not sure why you would have been told to be careful with vaping. I guess you're talking about like vaping, dry herb vaping, or are you talking about vaping like nicotine and stuff? I've heard nicotine's not great for people with migraines. Some people don't like, some people with that kind of headache issue, I've heard from customers saying that they don't like the sort of pressure that your kind of eyes and sinuses are put under when you're inhaling from a restricted pathway. Do you understand what I mean? It's like that kind of sort of tight draw that can sometimes be irritating, I think, for some people who are likely to get those kinds of migraines and other headache issues. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've definitely heard from people who say that their vaping helps them with migraines. So it's probably a case by case situation, I would say. But if you are going to try it, just start with a low temperature and a low strength of herb, basically, and just see how you get on there, I would say. Well, I'm going to try this water adapter then with the Tinymight. We'll see how that goes, because these mouthpieces have been a great success. I'm totally into that. Argo is the way to...
Oh, George, your microphone's gone. Hey, George. We can't hear you. I think George has some problems with his microphone sometimes where he needs to plug, and there we go. He's come back, I think.
Apologies, my mic went wrong. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Great. Okay, yeah, my mic's always playing up. The USB decides it's not plugged in, and I have to unplug it and plug it back in again. Oh, thanks, Pixel Atom, loading his VapCap for me. Don Marteng says the pieces from the sticky brick flip fit well for the Tinymight. That's good info. I didn't know that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is get this one. This one here is your standard sort of 14 mil water adapter size one with the Tinymight tubing on the other end. So I just got to get my little screen out from the mouthpiece I was using. This is a little bit tricky actually, because you can see what's happened is my screen's gone all the way down there. So I might have to use the cooling unit just to hold it in there.
Maybe if I plug Oatly brand oat milk on the screen, they will sponsor me. Shit, I'm not being very good. This is super. There we go. Oatly brand oat milk, everyone. Drink it and sponsor me.
What are you doing at the moment? Still making coffee? Okay.
I had to go feed the pupper and go get more weed, so I'm back, y'all. Sorry.
No worries, man. Good to see you, Zoticus. Right.
Good to see y'all too and be a part of all this.
So, yeah, Meat Bomb says it helps a lot. I'm mainly microdosing, but I worry about building a tolerance. Yeah, I guess it's probably anything that makes it easier is risky, because you're going to do it more, isn't it? So then you're going to build your tolerance that way. But if you can sort of take days off in between, then I find that can reset quite nicely. Right, here we go. Let's try this.
Smoke some CBD on the off days.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Let's try this.
Oh. Ooh, can we close the curtains?
Oh yeah, let's.
That works great. Thumbs up for the water adapter.
Oh my
Thank
god,
you.
guys, you need to see Beth is living opulence. Look at this fucking birthday present she just got. Yeah, opulence.
Bow down, bitches, because
Queen Bee.
exactly.
Not everyone doesn't know, but the B actually stands for bowel movement.
Oh well, G Money Jones says big baller.
Baller Beth.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be a bit decadent. I'm gonna go put some I'm gonna go put some chocolate powder on this and make it a mocha.
Eric's asking, does the cooling unit perfect fit on that one? It does actually. It's kind of, it leaves a small amount of chamber, if you see what I mean. So it does fit with just enough to put some herb in. I think because these are samples, I think what we'd likely do before we go ahead and order any of these is make some adjustments. So I want to set up a screen that works, you know, like this one's good on the sort of tighter ones because it hugs the inside, but this one, it just slid right down. So you need something with a bit of a lip, but not too much of a lip because it's got to fit in the Tinymight chamber. So we just got to do a bit of sort of trial and error to figure out what the perfect screen sort of dimensions are. But yeah, that's definitely works. That's a great little water adapter. Doesn't add any length. Fits perfectly. So yeah, it's provided you could, I think there's not much point having a cooling unit when you're putting it through water anyway. So all you're doing there is just building up more residue on the inside of your cooling unit, and you're just going to have to clean it more often. So you'd be better off having one that's just got the screen without the cooling unit. So we just got to figure that out basically. But yeah, I would imagine these are going to be coming very soon because that works really nicely. I'm thinking, what should I do next? I've also got this one, which is the universal water adapter. Fits, you know, it's all the sizes, so that would fit in there like that.
Oh, that's it. I was getting such bad vapor because of this awful screen that I had in. But I don't actually have any screens. That was the one thing I didn't take from the office. So I just cannibalized the screen out of the Crafty, because honestly the Crafty has begun to annoy me as a home unit. It's great portably because it gives such a great performance, but at home I just really need something a little bit more reliable, especially on stream, because if you stream for 3 hours, like when you're gaming, eventually you're just going to run out of battery with this, whereas you need something a bit more reliable, like a titanium or a mighty or something else, or the Tinymight where you can switch the battery. I did use that one.
Yeah, it's been interesting to spend more time with the titanium, because I haven't, you know, I've used it on and off, but to actually sit and use it for like a week. And I think it's great, but I've noticed a couple of flaws with it, like just the way the handpiece fits in the unit, where the herb sits, the chamber, like that could be improved, I think. But it is a great vape, great home vape. I'm really enjoying the Tinymight and the Firefly 2 Plus actually, because they're just so instant. You don't have to wait for either of them to heat up. They're just ready to go in a couple of seconds. So that's perfect. Passion Vapotager wants a cup of tea, D.
I haven't got one. This isn't tea. This is coffee.
Is yours hot or have you got
No,
iced
it's
as
cold.
well?
We both got iced coffee.
We both got iced coffee because, yeah.
It's warm.
It's not warm today. It's cold.
Warm in this
here,
room.
yeah.
Oh, is it?
Just heated up.
The
like
whole
crazy.
the way that this house is laid out means that we get the sun all afternoon pointed in the windows that we've got that hit these curtains.
But in the morning, we get it directly into my room, and so you wake up just sweating.
Pass me that Easter egg. Look what happened. We in the morning it also goes into the kitchen.
The kitchen.
And I got my girlfriend an Easter egg, but this happened. Wait, let me just.
We're gonna need to turn the thing.
Wait for this reveal. This is great.
Oh.
No, that is destroyed. Still edible.
Edible, but it's like one solid chunk. It's really heavy and heavy duty now.
Give me one solid chunk.
Yeah, I feel like they will still like the solid chunk.
Yeah, I think she'll probably be happy with it. It's just, I came downstairs in the morning and Delia was just like, look, there! I was just running about like a mad woman.
Is it a giraffe? Which one? Sorry.
This one.
This. No, it was a Waitrose orange squiggle Easter egg. So it was just like a round egg with, well, oval egg with orange shit on the front. Yeah, it was a nice egg, sadly. I've got a chocolate rabbit, but it's not recognizable as a rabbit anymore.
She munched the head off.
Nice. Yeah, these work really nicely, actually. I'm thoroughly enjoying this little experimentation sesh. What one haven't I used? I haven't used that one yet.
Glad I brought my induction heater out. It's a little bit windy. If I've been using my single torch, it's just been going out.
Is that the Lucid Customs one? Yeah, nice. The portable battery powered one. Yeah, that's cool.
It's convenient. It doesn't work that well with the 2020. I haven't found the groove for it yet, but you know, I don't mind it. You know, I love it.
Do you think it's a different takes a different kind of slightly different temperature or something than the 2020? I haven't heard that before.
Well, like normally, like I just do like a second or two after the click for the 2019. This one, but like, yeah, that one is just, it's different.
Really?
I don't know. I put it for like a couple past the click, and I was just like not as satisfied. Like I hold the carb, I opened it, I fluttered it. It was weird. I had to do like, I think I tried like 3 or 4 seconds, and like finally it was like, all right, it was decent vapor.
Interesting, because I actually had a similar experience, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I just thought maybe I, pulled it out sooner than I thought I had, or something like that. But
no,
yeah.
I've been really trying to, because like this is my setup. I don't have any other vapes currently. Dynavap was like my first like real vape, other than like the packs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody was also asking me whether it came with the low temp cap or the high temp cap, and I'm pretty sure it is the high temp cap, but that's interesting. I hadn't heard anybody really say that it had a noticeable difference, but now you say it, I kind of feel like I've seen that myself. I'm just reloading this Tinymight.
Colors look better with a background.
You could just have George's face again.
I like the George's face one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's disturbing.
I love it. Look at him.
What is that, Delia?
Whoa.
am I in front?
It's from a Satan group that I'm in. This lady makes vegan meat, and she posts pictures of it, and she has a group called Mangled Brains and Droopy Genitals.
Nice.
I don't like that I'm right in front of the genital.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Permanent emote. I like that your head is facing the same way.
Yeah.
So we've got you here, like both pointing in the same direction. See if you can do the same face as the face in the background, and then we'll all. No, you've got to.
Yeah.
And it's what else I've got. I think I've got some more stuff.
Have you guys been still? What were you playing yesterday? That Don't Starve Alone again.
Yeah, Don't Starve Together. And we played today. We were talking to Twitch people, which was interesting. Yes. And we've been talking to a few more YouTube people as well.
Cool.
Because we're going on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at the same time, we end up.
It's a little bit hectic.
Yeah, it's a little bit hectic. And I'm trying to figure out some way of porting all of the comments into one place.
Yeah.
But it's quite hard to figure out. I don't know, the app that we're using says it does that, but it never happens. Like only the Twitch comments come through.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because I kind of want the Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook comments all to be able to communicate to each other, so they can all chat, because they all tend to chat to each other as well whilst we're gaming.
Yeah, and which is nice, but it's just annoying that it kind of has to be, each one has to be in its own little bubble. But we've been playing that. I think Dee might play some Borderlands or Bloodborne at some point, and I might be playing some Frostpunk, which I'm really excited about because I really enjoy, although it is a solo game. So.
But mostly I like. I'm really enjoying Don't Starve Together because there's a few people on Twitch as well who are. People
are really helpful, and there's people who are just like have invited us into their little worlds, and people who are just giving us loads of tips and are really nice. So yeah, it's been really fun so far.
Awesome.
And we're starting to get a few people from Vaping coming over. Someone came over and took a clip. They posted a clip of the part where we realized that we had someone from Vaping coming through.
What do you mean, someone from Vaping?
Someone from Vaping had found us on Twitch and followed us on there.
Yeah.
And then they commented on Twitch. So I was like, oh, you've come through from Twitch. And they'd followed.
I see. Okay, right, cool.
They clipped the part where I was like, oh, you're a vape fiend, I see. Because you like take highlights of people's streams. So I've made highlights of like, there was a part where we got invited onto someone's base and somehow Beth managed to torch this person's farm.
Yeah, I set fire to a guy's farm. It was really good and I burned it down. I felt really bad. But luckily he was just, because I set fire to the farm and then he had some magical contraption that put it out. And he was like, it's fine, it was funny. I was like, thank God.
Oh, you disappeared when you did that. You were like, thank God, vanish.
I can't do it. I'm not as good at Beth at disappearing.
Well, that's fun. I didn't even know I could do that, but I can. Oh yeah, I got a text and I was like, oh, birthday text. It's just
Ah.
Nice. Oh, little noise.
I have to say the titanium has won my heart, essentially, just because of the convenience of it. Although the screen thing is a little bit annoying because you can't change a screen easily on stream, especially when if you're playing, you definitely can't. You can't change it. All you can really do there is answer questions.
Yeah. Are you using the glass handpiece or have you got the titanium chamber?
I'm using both.
Okay, yeah. That's what I do. Yeah. it's not. Yeah, it's not the best device for using when you're doing something else at the same time. That's what I've discovered. It's fine if you're paying attention, but if you try and sort of turn your back and do something else, then I'm always pulling that handpiece out. That's my problem with it.
Yeah, I don't find that I do that. I find that I just end up leaving it on and burning myself.
Yeah, that's a problem too. Meat Bomb says the Dynavap system is so neat. I love mine. Affordable and slick looking. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? And Paul says, just started watching your review.
Oh, George, your vocals have gone again.
You've gone quiet. Come back.
You've gone.
You're quiet, George.
Hello?
Hello,
Can you hear me now?
Welcome, you're back now.
Nope.
Oh. Say something.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm here. I'm not sure if I can hear you guys, so what's going on here?
George needs an integrated audio solution upgrade.
Yeah. True.
Ah, there you are. I can hear you now. Good.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so we didn't hear the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. It's I don't know where I got up to. It says, I love you guys. Just started watching your reviews. I just purchased the Storts and Bickle Mighty. Can you all discuss your Mighty experiences? I love you, Delia. I love your look.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
So Mighty experiences. I remember when the Mighty first came out, and obviously everybody knew about the volcano, and Storts and Bickle had done the Plenty, and that was kind of, you know, these are heavy duty power tool vapes. And then suddenly the Mighty and the Crafty both came out at the same time, and they both got delivered to the vape loft. And we had this sort of little sesh that evening. It was Awesome Boone was there as well, and Frankie Vapes and I think a couple of other people. And yeah, we just started passing these vapes around and kind of playing with the Crafty app on the phone. It was like the first vape with a smartphone app. And yeah, before we knew it, you know, we were absolutely maximum vapage. We were vaped to extremes. So it took us all by
George!
Come back.
George! George!
Why does it keep going?
We're gonna have to establish some sort of hand signal for when his mic goes down. I vote George. This is the hand signal for when the mic goes down.
Yeah. That sounds good. That can definitely not be misinterpreted at all.
Or maybe it's this. Wait, this hand signal.
Oh. Fashion vapor tager just went gorge.
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 That's if George was an orc.
I'm gonna see if Gorge the second is also available.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, what do you think about the Mighty, D?
I love the Mighty. It was one of my favorite vapes for ages. Like, you know, I had a Mighty for a really long time, and I used to introduce a lot of my friends to vaping with the Mighty. And a lot of my friends' only reference for a while for vaporizers was my Mighty. and I used to just like stuff the herb in and make like quite a stiff puck in the top of the mighty, and it would just go on for ages and ages and ages, and it was just good. Like it just works. It just pumps out the vapor.
Yeah, the flavor is pretty good. I remember thinking, oh, it's all plastic, it's not going to be that great. It's actually pretty good, especially if you keep it clean in that top bit. Yeah, I kind of always thought the Mighty was the more reliable of the two, but Mighty and Crafty, it always seemed to be a bit more hard wearing and a bit more like no nonsense. just seems to be longer lasting somehow. And yeah, I think it's still now, years on. I can't remember when it came out, but it's a few years ago now. It's one of the top, like, most successful recommendations. You know, you recommend a Mighty to someone, they're going to be happy with it. You know, it doesn't disappoint.
Oh, we've got George is online. Let's see if he's typing. He might not be available, but maybe he can Zoom with us.
Vaponiac Vaporist says, I can say Mighty is not the vape I thought I would like because of plastic and proprietary batteries, but eventually I got one and I'm using it a lot, delivers clouds every single time. Yeah, that's the thing. It's great for smokers who are trying to give up smoking because it feels like you're smoking when you're hitting a Mighty. It's these big rips. You can really take a big old rip on it and you get this huge cloud. There's no messing about, you know, it's very simple to use. You don't have to teach anyone how to use it. Pass it around, everybody's going to get a good hit. So yeah, but Vaponiac still prefers his sticky bricks and vap caps also. I think vap caps I love, but there's a point at which the bowl size gets to be a bit of a drag if you want a bigger hit, you know? Sometimes you need a bigger hit than a Dynavap. So sticky bricks are great for that reason because you can usually get quite big hits out of those.
Yeah, I think that's my next purchase is going to be a sticky brick.
Yeah. Which one?
I've been thinking either the Junior or the Runt.
Yeah, I really like both of those actually. The Junior, especially because it all kind of fits into its own little sort of case and you can just throw it in your bag like that. So that is so handy for traveling and stuff.
I always travel. So yeah, I was really thinking about the Junior first and then the Runt.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're all very cool and especially, you know, very easy to use now. They've kind of made a little change. They put this thing called the restrictor disc in and it makes it much harder to burn your herb. Pineapple Man says, how do you guys think the Tinymight compares to the Crafty Plus? Loving my Crafty Plus, but after 17 hours use, the battery isn't lasting very long at all. What do you think about that, Dee?
Sorry, I feel like the battery does sort of not last as much as it used to on even on this one. But I mean, all battery devices do suffer from that to some degree, like everything. There's not a single phone that has so far, to my knowledge, not done that after a certain point. But the thing with heating devices is like it's quite difficult to get them not to do that. That's why usually replaceable battery things are better. But I mean, ours has I've only noticed a small drop in the performance. Like it won't quite get through that last bowl that it used to get through. Whereas, but I don't know, it could just be my vaping habits. I mean, I think some people's vaping habits do affect the way that vaporizers perform. I'm not saying that the person, Pineapple Man, is having that problem because of the same thing, but it can just be down to people's vaping habits. It can really affect the sort of the length, you know, the length of the thing will run.
Like you basically what you're saying is if you're going to hit it on full temp, back-to-back sessions, and then leave it uncharged for like a week and then go and plug it in, then your battery is probably not going to last the same as if you're always hitting it on a sort of moderate temperature and keeping it charged regularly and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Good advice. I mean, there are certain things you can do that will make your battery last. But it is true that if you can have a swappable battery, that kind of does prevent these things from becoming an issue in the future, because although the argument against that is new vape technology comes out so quickly that are we really going to be using the same device, 2 years from now anyway? In which case, what's the point in worrying about swappable batteries, because there's going to be something else coming along then. But then maybe you want your device to last a longer time than that, so
work from internet, from power from the internet.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Or we'll just be putting patches on our forehead.
Personally, I prefer the Tinymight to the Crafty Plus Pineapple Man, because it's not really the swappable battery, although that is handy and I have used it. That has been a thing where I've been on holiday somewhere, got a couple of spare batteries. When one runs out, you just swap it straight away, which is so much easier than sitting there and waiting for it to charge like you've got to do with the Crafty Plus. But also the thing I like is the battery life. It's more efficient anyway, because it's only heat on demand. So while the Crafty's pretty efficient because it shuts itself down if you don't hit it after a minute or something like that, the Tinymight's even more efficient because it's literally only heating it up when you're hitting it. So that is the most efficient, basically. That's the best you can do. And yet you still get these big, massive hits, sort of Crafty style, big, tasty rips. So it does kind of answer all the problems, really. Paul says, for the last few years, my daily driver has been my Dynavap Omni XL, and I got the Apollo 2 conduction heater, and now I'm looking forward to upgrading to the Mighty.
Oh, shit. Zotic is not a dog.
Is it a dog?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Hey.
That's a cool doggo. Buster!
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 Oh,
Come
he's
here.
sleepy.
Milesy.
Oh, because I kicked
Come
him.
on, Milesy.
Can you pop this shit over there?
Yep.
Wait, let's get this properly
This
dressed.
is Ruby. She's very cold, so I'm gonna let her go to the bathroom. Put her back inside.
Okay.
But my dog's coming up too, but I need to put a blanket down, but he's so excited about coming up that he just like barreled up regardless of
Here he is. He is
Oh,
the
there's
dog.
this dog.
Yeah, Buster. Milesy's refusing to participate in this. Milesy, come on now.
Well, it's Milesy just being a diva, like, no.
I think he's chilling in the back room. He's probably fast asleep. That's where he likes to spend his days. So yeah, he ain't coming.
Buster's got like, Buster kind of gets like, because he's so big and warm, like underneath him, he gets this kind of like condensation. Like if you pick up a big log in the forest. That's what he's like. He's moist and dewy underneath here.
He fell asleep next to me here, and he was kind of rumbling as he snored next to me, which was kind of weird. Like, oh, someone said Miles got the blues. Oh.
Oh, yeah. He is actually named after Miles Davis.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. On demand is so rare with electronic devices, says Vaponiac Vaporist. Speaking of which, has any one of you got a Nomad from Morewood?
What's that?
I remember the Nomad. I've seen it. I haven't got one, no. And none of us have got one. I think they're the custom-made, like, beautiful vaporizers. I'm going to get out these bits that we got from Mod Pod.
He's very fishy.
Delia kisses her son.
Oh, he's so fishy and strong.
Paul B said he's beautiful. He is, Paul.
He is. Buster is very beautiful. He's very strong. Oh, is that our food?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Buster's balking. I've got to hold him back.
Oh.
Buster, look, there's another dog on the stream. And he's like, no fucking hell, there's a fucking person at the door.
Okay. I've opened the wrong end. It's one of these wooden cases again.
Oh, I like those.
This is for the 2.0.
Buster's so strong. He's got such an intense.
I don't know how you get the thing out. Tape on it.
They're very, very forgiving. But I don't want to let him shoot out because if I leave him at the door, he'll like run down the stairs and like say hi to this delivery person. He doesn't want to attack them. He just really, really wants to say hi.
Yeah, okay. That's the StemPod 2.0, and then we've got the StemPod SI. I'm not sure what the difference is between them.
You make everything smell so bad.
Very fragrant.
So they sent us a bunch of these coloured tubes to put, I guess that's like a different jacket for your StemPod.
Nice having doggo time with y'all.
Oh, Buster's
I had to let her outside because she hasn't been outside since she ate, so.
I just let Buster on the couch because I felt like he's not allowed on the couch, but he knows this. But he waits till I leave the room to go on the couch, and then as soon as I come back in, he's like, and just like gets straight off the couch again. But he's an ass. Like it's just like his body smells so bad. Even if we wash him, like 3 days later, his body smells like cheese again.
Interesting. Just going through all these little bits that the guys at StemPod sent us. That's another type of mouthpiece there. So it's got this sort of rubbery, like actually does look like a e-cig mouthpiece or something like that. And that's pretty cool. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Oh, that right. That you take part of it off.
Right.
And you make it so that it goes into a rig, and essentially picture that thing. Oh, thank you. That thing that you've got is essentially like a flip brick or sticky.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. I see what you're talking about. It's like a bent flame intake. So you can use it as a flame powered vape. Is that what it's for? Yeah.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Called like the launcher or the lift off or the blaster. Or
right. Excellent. Yeah, I like that idea. And then there's this.
I'm gonna wash my hands. Sorry guys, I need to leave this as a blank screen. Wait, no, wait, I'll put a thing. Wait.
Hey, well, let's wrap it up. If you guys have got your food, I've gone through all my bits here. So, yeah, I think we can call it a day there. Let's have a look. Any comments before we close this down? Hey guys, when will you have a new stock of Lotus vapes in your stock? I'm looking for the J-hook version. Okay, it will be a little while. I'll look into that, Aris. Vaponiac says, I'm on the waiting list since a year almost for the Nomad. Wow, that's amazing. Yep, okay. And that's called the Jet Pod. Yeah, that thing that the StemPod flame intake is called the Jet Pod. That's a very cool. So I guess what you do is you take off the bottom of the StemPod and then you just whack that in there instead. It's very, very clever idea, actually. Nice that you can do that. You know, you don't normally get that option with electronic vapes to power it by flame. But if you can bring the same vape and just a little torch, and if you run out of batteries, you know, problem solved. That's awesome. Very cool idea. And that's the StemPod SI. I don't know why that's different from the other one, but
sorry about that sound.
very cool. What are you drinking there, D?
Boba.
Haha, nice.
It was the hardest boba to pierce in the world. I had to like get my keys out and jab my keys into the top, and then it just started spilling out of the top, and it was just a nightmare. I've got a combination of the tapioca pearls, and I don't know if you can see, I've got the mango popping pearls as well.
Nice.
In a
Combo. Nice.
passion fruit drink with tea. I don't really like the milky ones. I think they're kind of weird. But I like these ones. Well, actually, no, I had a melon milk.
I love melon milk.
Is that what you've got?
No, I got matcha. Hey everyone. How's it going?
Right, I'm gonna go, guys. Nice to see you all. Take it easy. Let's wrap this up. And yeah, we're gonna do Instagram Live tomorrow at 4:20. And so we'll see you all there. We'll be back here on YouTube where you guys are going to be gaming all the time. And then we'll do this again probably a week from now. So yeah, come and join us. Nice to see you, Zoticus. Come back and hang with us again. Take it easy.
Of course. You take it easy.
Cool.
Thanks, man. See you soon.
See you later.
See you later.